Alright folks, this is the Ace Charming. A lot of you guys have been asking me about to go on to another rant. Well, this week during school I decided this was as good a time as any to start talking about teachers and their preferences. Now I have one semester left, so I have had quite a bit of schooling. I know you guys that have graduated have had plenty of teachers throughout your life. In my case, you can always know the teachers that are partial to maybe one student, maybe two students. I've had sexist teachers who like guys more than they like girls. I've had teachers that like girls more than they like guys. And that just happens. But I have a teacher this semester that I have never come across before in all my years. I have had teachers in the past that don't like me because I played sports and I was athletic. I've had teachers that gave me good grades just because I was in sports. So that kind of balanced out, really, to be honest with you. Put forth the same amount of effort throughout. But this specific teacher this year, we have to get into a group of 5. There's a class of about 35 people. So there's 35 people. We're supposed to get in groups of 5. The teacher says he wants everyone from different major concentrations. He wants there to be a mix of girls and guys, if at all possible. And he also wants there to be a mix of races. So in our group, we have 3 Europeans, I guess you would call them. We have and we have another one that is Mexican, but apparently she looks white, so he didn't like her. And then we had this older Asian gentleman. So we have an older Asian gentleman, a Mexican, and 3 Europeans. And believe me, I normally wouldn't be racist like this, but this is the way that he categorized us as. And the 3, we had 2 guys and 3 girls, which I thought was a pretty good mix. And then we also had an older gentleman, and then all of us were about seniors, and we were all about the same age. But he brought us up to the classroom, decided to humiliate us all because he thought that we were doing a disservice to the rest of the classroom because we had too many Caucasians, too many people that could speak English well. He said that we had to listen to some reports and that the fact that we all speak very well and we have good public speaking, that we were going to have to sit through basically crappy presentations of other people's work. And I looked at the guy, and of course I'm fairly outspoken, so got myself into a little bit of trouble, not much, because I still think he likes me a little bit. But I was just like, really? I said, you're really just going to get upset at our group? You did also say that you wanted us all in the same vicinity. We all live within about 10 miles of each other, as opposed to other groups where it would be like 30 miles because everyone comes from all over. And you're going to get mad at us because she looks white even though she's Mexican, and we have basically the same amount of diversity as opposed to some of these other groups. And our class is like 50% Asian. No problem with them. I'm just saying, like, in Southern California, in Orange County especially, with UC Irvine, UCLA, all that stuff, it's just, there's a lot of them around, and they're all really smart. So, and there was like a group of like 4 Asians and like 1 Mexican or something, and I was just like looking at them, I'm like, so the fact that they're all congregating together is different than having 3, 1, and 1, and I was getting a little bit upset, and he's just like, well, you guys are going to have to sit through presentations with people that don't speak English very well. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I said, your whole rationale for this is that I won't be able to understand them. This teacher is Iranian. He's hard enough to understand, but all these other people, I can understand. I've been in sales. I told him, I said, hey, I've been in sales. I've dealt with a lot of people with different accents. I said, some people even come in speaking Spanish. I do hand gestures for some of them. I know how to handle, and I can actually listen to people really well. It doesn't matter to me if they're standing up there, and if they're having a hard time, it's okay. They'll find someone in their group that speaks English relatively well and can handle the presentation. I don't know, I was just a little upset about this because and then at the end of bringing us up there, he's like, well, I'm gonna expect a lot of you guys. So I said, oh, so I said, so you're gonna expect us to do great. I said that's perfect. I said because I'm expecting to blow you guys away. That's the whole point of a presentation, is to really wow you guys. But then I also told him, I said, you know what, you can't grade us differently than you would any other group. I said, you know what, I feel like I want to record all presentations, bring it out there, and then if there's a significant difference between the way that we handle ourselves and other people handled ourselves, I can always take the video to the dean and just be like, the teacher gave us, a whole letter grade down, all because we were primarily European. So that's just something that's been frustrating me slightly in class, because this class only meets once a week. We've had 2 days off because he didn't even show up for the first day of class. Looking at Rate My Professor, he seems like an easy professor, and I'm hoping that that's true. But just the arrogance that this guy has just frustrates me, because I feel like we've gone so far to give a good melting pot. I mean, especially in Southern California, I don't know as much around, but I do know when I went to Oklahoma, there wasn't a lot of mix. There were a couple ethnicities that were not really present in that area. But in Southern California, you have a large mix of everyone, and I enjoy it. It is a lot of fun for me because I like learning about other cultures, their idioms and stuff like that. So it's very cool for me to be able to live around that, because I feel like I've been, I grew up in a great area where I got to know every ethnicity from, here, from even, the South, Northeast, the Asian culture. I know, you can go with Filipinos, lots of them, all cool, man. We have the Indian cultures, we have Egyptians. I mean, we have like everything here, which I find very cool. We got a lot of European people over here, Spanish. It's just a great melting pot. But for our teacher, who is Iranian and had to have dealt with a little bit of that, for him to talk to the class and being a little racist, I was just a little upset about that. Now, what should I do about it? I can't do anything, because this teacher's been around for like 25, 30 plus years teaching. So he's basically got tenure, and he's got all the department in his back pocket. So as a student, you just have to grin and bear it and try and be as nice as possible and do the best work that you possibly can. But yeah, how have you guys? What's your worst teacher and what's your best teacher? Because this semester, out of my 4 teachers, I have 2 great ones, and I have 1 mediocre, and then this one that's just kind of very arrogant. So let me know what your best teacher was and what their attributes were. Like, what did they do? As well as your worst teacher, and what did they do? Some of our best teachers, they're just really cool. They'll come up, talk to you. You can do whatever you want. They take the class somewhat seriously, but they're not going to cram it down your throat. But yeah, just give a little bit of feedback. I had to vent a little bit about this. So this has been DH Charming. I will see you guys all later. Over and out.